Buechel directing your first feature film, Fencing for the Edge. Holly, how long has this been a project for you?
Well, it started about 3 years ago, believe it or not, with an idea to do a film about fencing, but not just the sport as a whole, but more concentrated on the high school level in New Jersey, because that's where I started fencing, was at my school in New Jersey.
And apart from having your roots in New Jersey as a fencer, what inspired you to focus on the documentary you ultimately made?
Well, I just felt there wasn't a story out there or a film that had covered the sport in the way that I'd want to see it. So the film focuses on 4 teams in New Jersey in their competitive environment. So it's not just a talking head type interview. It's a film that follows the kids in action in a real season for 1 year. So.
And which schools did you cover?
We filmed with Columbia High School, Bernard's, Pingree, and the Teaneck School.
And what is your relationship with those schools, or what led you to choose them as the feature?
Well, Columbia was really easy for me because that's my hometown school. I didn't end up going there, but I actually coached there as my first paying job for 2 seasons. So that was a natural pick for me. Bernard's High School was an interesting pick. I got to know them in the season before, so as I spent time with them, I was like, oh, these girls are great. I love the boys team. And Teaneck High School came up because one of my ex-teammates, Maya Lawrence, went there, and her mom is currently coaching there, so that was my connection to Teaneck. And Pingree was another choice because I wanted a private school that had 2 teams of boys and a girls. So I had asked my high school, Oak Knoll, but they only had girls, and I really wanted to show that fencing is for both boys and girls.
Excellent. So a lot of very strategic relevance to you and kind of the area you wanted to focus.
Mm-hmm.
So apart from that, you mentioned 3 years in the works. When you first started the project 3 years ago, how long were you anticipating it would take?
Well, I thought it would have been done by now, but the 3-year process, first year was a research phase, so I actually filmed with one student, Cooper Schumacher, who now is at St. John's University. So we followed him for 1 season, and then it took a long time to get permission from a lot of the schools, so we needed that another year to get all the permission. And in my research, I found that the season that we filmed, which was 2013 to 14, was the 50th anniversary season of the league that we were filming in, so the NJSIAA. So I was like, this is perfect timing. I'm in a historic year. So that was also kind of fortuitous timing. But now we're in year 3, and we're editing the film. So documentaries just take a long time to make sometimes.
So you talk a little bit about some of the challenges and unanticipated surprises, although positive. What have been some of the other challenges you faced throughout these 3 years?
Some of our challenges have been funding. Like I said, it's taken us to year 3 to start editing the film because production costs X amount of dollars, and we still are paying people for that. But now we're ramping up for editing, which also costs money. So funding's been an issue and a reason why it's taken this long, but also research and developing the stories and getting to know the athletes, because I didn't want to just go in cold. I wanted to spend time with them and reacquaint myself with the New Jersey scene. So, yeah.
And to the point of funding, you currently have an Indiegogo page where you're hosting your fundraising campaign. Describe that experience for you, and where are you in that campaign?
So this is our second Indiegogo that we're doing, and we started about 3 weeks ago. We're trying to raise $45,000, which sounds like a lot, but actually is very small in the film world. A lot of documentaries, even like small budget films, cost $1 million to make. So we're just asking for like a quarter, like not even a percentage of that. And a lot of that money goes toward the editing phase. So it takes a long time to edit a documentary because you're dealing with a lot of footage. So for us, our shooting ratio, which is time that you shoot versus what ends up in the film, is I don't know, well over 60 to 1 minutes. So in a regular narrative film, you might have a shooting ratio of 10 to 1. So it's like a lot less footage to deal with. But in the way that we shot the film, which was verite, and we wanted to be just a fly on the wall, a member of the team, we needed to shoot all that so that we could blend in with the players and really get in the action of the team. So So that's why editing costs a lot, because you're just dealing with all that footage, and you want to make a good story. You don't want to cut corners, especially at the editing stage.
And you talked about some of the challenges throughout the filming of the film. How about now in the fundraising component? What have you experienced to be some of the challenges to spreading the word or getting donors to move from interest to actually donating?
I think a lot of it's exposure to the project. So some people have seen our previous fundraiser and thought that we were done, but we're not. That was just a fundraiser to be able to shoot the film. So I think now people are like, wait, I thought it was already over, and they don't know why we're doing another one, but this is for the editing phase. So I think the conversion rate hasn't translated because there's a disconnect in what is filmmaking, and hopefully this will help explain why it takes a little longer to make a film. But we have some cool perks, which I hope people are seeing. We've got some good luck messages from our national team members, and the one I'm most excited about is our screening to our rough cut, which is something we're going to be showing at Summer Nationals. I hope people jump on that while they can. And
as mentioned, the campaign is hosted on Indiegogo. If someone wants to donate, how can they do that?
They can go to Indiegogo and search for Fencing for the Edge documentary. We have links on our Facebook page, so we're on Facebook. And our donations are all tax deductible because we are fiscally sponsored by Women Make Movies, which is a nonprofit artist organization that supports female directors. So that's been great. So if you want to donate your money, you can get a tax deductible receipt for it.
Excellent. And as this being your first feature film, how about for you? What was the most exciting part of the whole experience from start to finish?
Well, definitely the state finals were the most exciting day for us. So we had Bernards and Columbia, two of the teams we followed, end up in the finals together for the girls' meet. And I just had the biggest knot in my stomach because I couldn't really root for either one because I wanted both of them to win. So that match went so close. It went almost down to the last bout. It ended up in epee, and there was just so much emotion going on in the whole basketball gym. Everything was so loud. It was very exciting. And at the end of the day, Columbia ended up winning, but it was such a close match, and it was really exciting.
It does sound exciting, and we look forward to seeing that excitement in the film itself.
Great.
Thank you very much, Holly.
Yeah, thank you.